Hi, Stuart Bruce here, and I am the Spare Time Property Investor. In these podcasts, I'm going to share tips, tricks, and lessons that I've learned and will hopefully help you, especially if you're still working the 9 to 5. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spare Time Property Investor. In this episode, I'm just going to discuss some changes I've been making recently to help with my energy levels. These work for me. I'm not saying they'll work for everybody, but I thought I'd share them because a couple of them are a bit of a change for me. So first off, I need to explain that I really love coffee. Have done for years. But I think I drink so much that it doesn't really have an effect on me anymore, or so I thought. I've been feeling really, really tired for a long time, actually. Not tired, just kind of sleepy, like no energy, a real fatigued kind of feeling. And now and again, I just have days where I just really didn't have the energy to do anything. I still did stuff, but it was a bit of a struggle. So on those days, I'll just try and drink more and more coffee, just try and give me a bit of a boost. But it didn't do anything. So I decided to really reduce my caffeine intake. And that seems to have really leveled out my energy levels, meaning that I don't have those really bad dips, but my energy is like pretty good. So I'm much, much happier with that. And then I got talking to one of our friends about it, and she mentioned it affects your iron absorption and your calcium. So I read a load of articles online about it, and it does seem to affect your iron absorption. It depletes the calcium in your system. It also depletes the vitamins, C, B, and D in your system. And I kind of thought, well, actually, yeah, this is not good. And I think for most people, if you're only having a few cups of coffee a day, 2 or 3, whatever, it probably doesn't have much of an impact at all. But I was drinking a lot of strong coffee just to try and keep me going. So I think over time, it's probably not done me any favours. So now I'm really, really limiting myself, and it seems to have helped. So the first thing that I've changed is my caffeine intake. So the second thing I do to help with my energy levels is exercise. I love running. I didn't love running when I started. I think it's one of those things that you have to learn to love, but I really do now, and it's obviously great for your fitness, but also once I've had a run, the rest of the day I seem to have more energy. Even if I get up earlier and have less sleep, it really helps my energy levels, and it's also really good for clearing my head. It releases dopamine and all of those other things that people are already aware of, but it's very, very good for you, and yeah, I love it. And I think as well, it's good for your immune system. Being out in the sun, especially early in the morning, it helps with the circadian rhythms, which is all about the natural rhythm of, day and night and waking up naturally and things like that, I think.
Well, I'll help you out there, Mr. Bruce. It's your fact-checking alter ego. Your circadian rhythm is basically a 24-hour internal clock that's running in the background of your brain and cycles between sleepiness and alertness at regular intervals. It's also known as your sleep-wake cycle. A part of your hypothalamus, a portion of your brain, controls your circadian rhythm. Back to you, Mr. Bruce. Jolly good show, yes.
But also, while I'm running, I listen to podcasts, I listen to books. So it's a great time to learn about things as well. So number 3 is only drinking moderate amounts of alcohol. But alcohol, the day after, you feel sluggish, you feel tired, it affects your sleep. So having days off and not drinking too much is a really obvious thing to do to try and keep your energy levels straight. Number 4, my diet. I don't eat meat. That's a personal choice, but I think when I used to eat meat, it made me feel a bit sluggish. So not eating meat probably does help with my energy levels, as well as being more of an ethical decision. And because I'm not eating meat, I'm eating lots of fruit and veg. I also try and avoid refined sugars and stuff like that. So yeah, my diet, it's not really much of a conscious decision in terms of my energy levels, but I do think it probably helps. Number 5, sleep. Now, going back to the caffeine, I don't think it ever affected my sleep because I think I just became, immune to the effects of caffeine. So I've always been able to sleep very well, but I try and get about 7 hours if I can. Sometimes it's not possible, but, generally I try and get around 7 hours. That seems to work for me. I think for different people, you need different amounts of sleep. I'm trying to get a sleep expert to come and speak on the podcast, actually. It's proven to be a little bit tricky. But I will try and get somebody, because I think sleep is really important. It's when we process all the information from our day. There's some really interesting studies about the reason why we sleep so much, actually. It'd be really interesting to speak to somebody who is a real expert in sleep. And then number 6 is taking breaks. I think sometimes when we have lots to do, there is a trap we fall into, which is just hammering away at it for hour after hour. But sometimes if you just step away, do something else, do something that's fun or you enjoy, and then you come back to it, the solution's there, because a lot of our thinking actually happens in our subconscious. So yeah, sometimes stepping away from the problem actually helps to speed up the process of solving it. And you know what they say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you have to go and do some other stuff, which I struggle with sometimes, I have to admit. But yeah, you do have to step away and do something a little bit more fun, and that helps to break things up. So they are the 6 things I'm trying to do at the moment to try and keep my energy levels right. It seems to be helping. So 1, I've really reduced my caffeine intake. That is a really big one. So number 2, exercise. It keeps my energy levels right and it clears my head, so it's great. 3, only moderate amounts of alcohol. 4, diet. Personally, I don't eat meat. 5, trying to get about 7 hours of sleep. And then number 6, taking breaks. For me, that works. Maybe there's 1 or 2 things in there that you haven't thought of. Maybe the caffeine thing might resonate with a few people, because I know sometimes when you're busy, you just feel like you need to keep on going. So you get another coffee and another coffee just to try and keep going. But actually, it could be counterproductive. It could actually create fatigue. And honestly, it was quite concerning how fatigued I felt. I'll tell you one thing about caffeine. I was at a dinner a couple of years ago for my birthday, and I was asking for espressos before the meal started, just to try and stay awake. I was so tired, really, really tired. And looking back, I've been really busy. I think I was doing a project at the time, one of our houses. So I was working in the day, working in the evening on the project, just full on. And I was using caffeine to try and give me that energy. And it clearly didn't work. And I was exhausted. So caffeine doesn't work for me. And probably in moderate amounts, it's good. But the amount I was drinking isn't healthy. So that is the reason why I've really cut down. So that's me for another week. Hopefully there's something in there from how I manage my energy levels that you might benefit from. If there is anything from this that helped, please drop me a message. It would be great to hear from you. And also, if you're juggling the day job or business and invested in property, please get in touch, because I'm looking for more people to interview, even if you're at the start of your journey, because I want to interview people right at the start and then check in with them in a year's time to see what they've achieved. There's a little bit of accountability there for you, but also I love seeing how far people get in a year, because while you're in the thick of it, things seem really slow. It's amazing what you can achieve if you just keep on going. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please leave me a 5-star review to help other people find it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.